Okay, welcome everyone, and Namaste Falina ji, and Namaste Marvin, and people who are watching.
Namaste.
So today's topic we have truth and judgment. For meditators, like truth has meaning for the court differently. The court deciding the truth by asking people, witness, and then deciding about what is truth, what is not the truth. There is one truth which is eternally being looked for meditators, sadhak, philosophers, intellectuals. They would like to inquire about what is truth, that understanding that they can find like one truth which explaining the whole world inside and outside. Some people not bothered about truth. They go with emotions, feeling, and they are looking for love, love, love. They have only one word for them. Emotional people going with bhavana, and they are looking for love. Some people looking for truth. So, and we as a sadhak is really challenged. When we go inside the spiritual world, and we are told, don't judge people. Don't. So if we don't judge, how we find out what is truth, what is not truth? Because truth is also a judgment. I am at the right path or I'm not at the right path. It's also a kind of judgment. And in the world, we need this judgment all the time to determine it is blue, red, how is the person? Should I spend time with the person? Should not I spend time with the person? To whom to intimate? To whom to invite at your place? To whom not? So judgment is all the time there. We are always judging. So what does it mean when we read the Bible? Say, judge ye not. Do not do the judgment. So we need to understand as a meditator how we will live our life. So as a meditator, when I'm looking inside and watching myself inside, as a witness, I say, don't judge anything. Inside means something going, and then I don't have to pay attention and judge this is right thought, this is wrong thought. This is right breathing, this is wrong breathing. So in this way, if I don't judge at all and just sit, and then I become the pure witness. And the judgment, the psychological judgment, actually all the scriptures are concerned with. That you should not make a psychological judgment. Who is right? Who is wrong? Who is at the right path? Who is not at the right path? Why? Because if making a judgment, you need a criteria to judge. Like if I want to judge you are right or you are wrong, how I will judge it? I need a criteria, a standard by which I will judge. So if we see normal everyone, like in the world, the judgment criteria of everyone is the self. The first criteria people see is the self, me. And in relation to me, who am I? The judgment goes right and wrong, acceptable and not acceptable. So you decide that this person is acceptable in your life and not acceptable in you. On what condition? What is the criteria? So here, the scriptures which are concerned to guide meditators and saying, do not judge. Because if you will judge, you will make a criteria. And against this criteria, you will provide any judgment of right and wrong about other people on the path, who is more near to God, who is not far away from God, who is near to truth, far away from truth, or who have attained the truth, not attained the truth. How you will judge? You will set up a criteria, and this criteria can be your pure imagination. Like suppose if you want to pass on a judgment, this person is enlightened or not. How you will judge it? How? You will put a criteria, and this criteria will be what? Either Jesus, you already believe that right, enlightened person, or Buddha, or somebody else. So one person you will put as a judgment criteria, or you will judge by yourself. You say, I am enlightened, I know what is enlightenment, and through that you judge other people. So this judgment for meditators, if you put yourself as a criteria, and usually we are doing it. So as a meditator, not to become egocentric. If I make myself as a right and judge everybody at my criteria, if I am doing something, somebody else is doing the same thing, I say right. If I am not doing something, somebody is not doing that thing, I say right. So any judgment we are passing on about anyone is we are talking about the self. The way we judging ourselves, I'm right and wrong, we are judging the others. Marvin? And when we are doing suppose a technique vipassana, suppose a technique vipassana, no, very simple technique vipassana. What we are doing in vipassana? Breath coming, breath going, thoughts coming, thoughts going, and we are not passing on any judgment that this is right breath, this is wrong breath, this is right thought, this is wrong thought. We are in this position when we are not doing a judgment, we are a pure observer. So this path leading us inside. And the pure meditation, without any judgment, without any interference over the breath, without any interference into your own mind. If we don't pass the judgment, we become the pure observer and we can observe the truth. This is one way. But here, in this way, when we are cut off from the world and we are alone by ourselves, we are only to ourselves, closed in a room, cave, anywhere, nobody else is there except me, myself, as a meditator. This technique is working. But the moment you come to relate with somebody else, then how you will proceed without judgment in outside world. So in outside world, we all the time we need to make a judgment in relating. In inside world, we don't need to judge at all right or wrong and go beyond. One way is to save ourselves, not to create yourself at least as a criteria of doing judgment to somebody else. And if we do this, what will happen? If you see yourself, you are right, and according to that, you decide about others who is right and who is wrong. You will always be in your comfortable zone. Nothing is challenged because your judgment of meeting someone, relating with someone, doing is just according to you. So you make a choice, making yourself as a center and choosing to relate to the environment, to the people, to the nature, according to yourself. This will make you fully in your own island, and you can get lost in your own imagination of whatever criteria you have set up as your development of meditation. You will get caught in your own imagination. And a stereotype pattern will develop in your life. On the contrary, if you put somebody else as a standard of right, then you become an imitator. You start to imitate that you have put something right in front of you. So what the other is doing is right, so you start to follow. What the other is doing, you start to follow that. Same. And both does not work in meditation for a meditator. Creating a criteria of truth, either you yourself or you put somebody out of yourself. Both way. So what could be the path? The law of going inside and law, the way the world is moving, are contrarily opposite. If you want to go inside, we don't need any judgment at all. I am sitting in meditation, and this will become the pure meditation if I will not judge at all myself or anything happening in myself. Neither I am manipulating my breath. Oh, this is wrong breath. I should breathe in belly. No? Oh, this is not yogic breathing. This I'm breathing from chest. Now I'm belly. Now this. Oh, this. So if you don't judge at all, breath, I'm not concerned. It is in the belly, it is in the chest, it is left, it is right. Then breath will fall in its natural way. Like you are there. If somebody will start to judge you, you are right, you are wrong, you are sitting rightly, you are speaking, you will start to change. If somebody is not judging you at all, you are right or wrong or the way you are, you will be fully at ease. Same way, inside. Like when we learn meditation in the beginning, we follow a technique. Oh, this is not right, or this is not wrong. And we try to be perfect into this technique, whatever we are following. But the perfection of meditation is when you are not doing anything. Not at all. Because if you will judge and start to interfere, you will get caught in your own mind. Getting it, Morgan?
Yes, yes, you have me completely.
Yeah. So One judgment and truth is the world moving, the politics, the organizations, the nations, they are continuously judging each other. And each one is telling somebody else what to do, what not to do. But here, if we are going inside and not involving in politics, not involving with state, so meditator has to do double. One inside, going inside. If you want to go inside, we don't need any judgment at all. Whether I am right or wrong, whether my breath is right or wrong, whether this thought is right or wrong, whether this emotion is right or wrong, whether this memory is right and wrong. So here we are pure meditator doing nothing and not involving, passing on any judgment. We will fall back at the center. Anything we observe and not interfere, that things falls in its natural state. So if we want to know our real nature, what is my reality? What is my truth? What is my real nature? We have only one way, not to interfere in yourself at all. Not to judge the self at all. And just be. This is pure meditation. Inside. Then, watching the breath, no judgment. This is right breath, wrong breath, belly breathing, chest breathing, yogic breathing, reverse breathing, nothing. Then what will happen? Breath will fall in its natural state, as it should be. And this is the final technique. Same way, we look at our mind and don't interfere. Then mind will fall to its natural state. So if you want to go from doing mode, doing something, to our being mode, the sun, the truth, we need not to do anything at all. But it looks very simple, but becomes very hard. Why? Because of our experience. You cannot allow this law when you go into the world, because there you need judgment. So, but the mistake is we should not apply the same law to find our truth inside, to apply the same law, find the truth outside and being in the world. This technique works very good for the people who have renounced the world, retired to the self, and then this is the technique very nicely working. So Buddha gives vipassana, but at the same time, he's initiating people, and people are cutting off from the world completely and giving 100% time, money, energy, whatever they have, giving 100% only to find the truth being. Then this is a very good technique. You know, I was giving classes to Indian police in Delhi and started teaching this observation vipassana. After a few years, I met the Kiran Bedi, IPS, she was organizing this kind of things, to the training to the police or even to the criminals. So later on, it came out from the organization that you should not teach vipassana to police, because they don't need this. yeah, you cannot teach Vipassana to the police who were under
Police.
the training. Yeah, I used to go once in a week to teach to the new police who are coming in training in Delhi police, and to the sub inspector and inspectors who were promoted. So I was teaching them to be passive and watch this. So later on, I find out that they stopped this program because they say, no, we cannot teach this Vipassana to the police because they need different. They don't need to be just sit and witness the environment. So the judgment is in active mode. In passive mode, this is a perfect technique. Just not, and go inside. This is the ultimate technique of enlightenment, final technique. But challenge arises in the outside world because outside world is moving only on judgment. Then we need right judgment. Moving in the outside world, we need right judgment. Exactly the things, the way we see inside, also the things enlighten us in the outside world. And that's real the problem of a meditator. When person learns meditation in the beginning, what the person is doing, the meditator is doing, applying, I also did, applying the same law which you are doing inside, applying the same law outside. As a monk, it's very good. As a nun, it's very good. As a renunciate, it's very good. You can keep on using the same technique inside and outside. But the people who are doing job, doing business in the environment, struggling, fighting, they all the time have to defend their territory, maintain it, and relate on this boundary line to other people in the world. In meditation, it's very easy. After the meditation, relating to the environment, it becomes very challenging. How to relate with anybody in this world without any judgment? As a sannyasi, very nice. You can be fully vulnerable because you have nothing to lose. I mean, in the way of money and property. So we cannot apply this law of being non-judgmental to the environment. Because if you are a boss running a company, so many people working under you, you have to make recruitment, you have to make people resign. So there is continuously, you have a criteria already set, and according to that, you are passing on the judgment. Oh, this person is right, this should be company, this person is not right. All the time, judgment has to go on. Good and bad. And there, you need to be all the time at the right judgment. Then you can exist in the world, outside world, this business world, for the world which is running on information only. They are not bothered about the truth at all. They are fully dependent on processing of information and creating a story about it. I will ask you what you will do, how you think is possible to exist in this world make business, exist, make houses without passing on any judgment. Not possible. I have been thinking a lot, not possible. The law which we apply to find the truth inside, we cannot apply the same law outside. If our first priority is enlightenment only, nothing else, taking risk of everything else, your own body, your money, your all the desires, then it's fine. But if we need to keep intact our work, business, money, children, house, and also the being, the truth. Then we learn to make right judgment. We cannot apply this law just yet not in the outside. In the spiritual dimension, this law working very nice. But in outer world, accept you to the environment, and if you're becoming the part of the food system, which the world is running, you need to have a right judgment criteria. Relating to your boyfriend, girlfriend, mother, wife, children, earning money, going to office, coming back. And so we come to a point, if we go inside, no judgment is needed. Nothing is needed to judge inside. But if you go outside, we need a criteria of right judgment. That's where comes the psychological study. And here we need a balance. Like last time, Kalinath was saying, we need to find a balance between the two. If we are living both the life, for sure, we need to find a balance. Balance of no judgment and the right judgment. And in the right judgment is possible only to whom we will make a criteria. The self or some model. So I would like to ask you how you think, what could be the right judgment? How we decide? I'm not so good into this, relating to the world and making right judgment. Many times I make wrong judgments. I can guide very nicely going inside, inner path to anyone.
We have to answer the question now, or is it rhetorical?
Yeah, I'm asking
Oh.
a question.
All right. Should you want to go first, Kalina? Or should I go
I'm
first?
asking a question. My point is only thing that there are two laws to follow. If you are following inside the path of enlightenment, going inside, for sure, this is very nice. Don't judge at all. Is the best technique to know yourself, to find your truth. I'm fully agreed. And I'm also saying that the same law should not be applied in outer world. In outer world, we need right judgment.
it's very important to become a dancer.
The answer? No, answer me with your own experiences, with your
Very,
really what you are using.
what I've realized by is that especially when we are new to something, let us consider just the human life as it is. We do not live that long when you realize the time it takes to change. 60, 80 years is not a long time. But as we're young, we tend to go to the extremes. You know, like last time you talked about the yin in the yang and the yang in the yin. We will always tend to go to the extremes so we can have a contrast, some reference, and then proceed to dance in between. How can we merge these two sides? You know, and in the same explanation, we do have to become observant, entertain equanimity when we are trying to go inside. And then when we're outside playing with the world, I see it as I see that part as like the blooming of the flower. You know, we go inside to nurture something, and then when we come outside to play with the world, it's more of a, you know, a play unfolding. It's already, we just like robots, we already have our programs and presets. That's why I said last time the judgment is already made, and that can help a lot of people because I hear that a lot. I don't judge. And I always tell them, but the judgment is already made because the way we have to wear an identity, it means we already have a set of choices and responses. So the judgment is already made in that sense. And what would make it easy to respond now to the question fully, what will make it easy to, let's say, play in the world is reminding ourselves there's a lot of virtues to entertain: humility, to be real. What is it to be real nowadays? But keeping ourselves, that's why I said dancing, because you always have to, consciousness is not limited to just this and that. I will do this forever. I found the way. No, this is the way. No, that is the way. Consciousness is always bound to spontaneity because it comes and goes. And the only way to do this effortlessly, to live life effortlessly, that involves judging, is by accepting this, that also we will make the wrong judgment.
No, yes, what I'm saying here, Marvin, that look, suppose I'm living in India and I am judging myself, not judging myself, how I am meditating is not the business of anyone. Nobody is concerned after closing your eyes what you are experiencing. It's not a business of anyone. Here, the person is only interested if I will influence the person somehow, directly. So in India, if you do something, we have an Indian constitution that is judging you what you are doing right or wrong. I'm talking about the doing mode, Marvin. Being mode, we are not confused at all. I am sannyasin initiated 24, no, 34 years before. I'm not confused about at all to go inside and meditate and what could be the technique and how I have to do. Now, neither I have any issue to lead somebody to meditation and find truth inside. Here I am saying the problem for meditator, which I counter or I face, each time people say, oh, I'm very truthful, I'm so loving, I'm not judging anyone, but I'm being deceived all the time in this world. I'm being befooled all the time in this world. And you can do anything which you think is spontaneously, Marvin. This spontaneity may not be judged rightly by the constitution of the country you are living. You are in Germany, make a spontaneous movement. And if it is not in accordance with the law and the constitution of the Germany, no, it won't be accepted, howsoever spontaneous you are. It will be just, there's a fixed criteria of judgment of right and wrong. In doing mode, Marvin, not in being mode, no?
No, definitely. What I mean with spontaneity is
Yeah.
in the exercise of
It's-
intelligence. For example, when intelligence is really entertained consciously, it is, even though it's continuous, the action is still spontaneous, right? Because we are being conscious. So at any point in time, we are, let's say, exercising this conscious intelligence. So that's what I meant with spontaneity. And in this case, well, we have to figure it out.
I would like to clarify spontaneity, this word, no? We should not be confused about it. What does it mean by spontaneous movement, no? So I will give you the explanation according to our criteria. Spontaneous movement, it's described in tantric scriptures, no? I will take recourse and use these tantric scriptures which define spontaneous movement. So in Tantra, when we say spontaneous movement, what do we mean by this? In Tantra, we say like is a Param Shiva, and is the energy of the Shiva is the Param Shakti, no? Which has the creative power, which is beyond intelligence, Marvin, beyond intelligence of the self. And if any movement is initiated from that center of the point, from this Shakti, creative power, only that movement is called spontaneous movement. Otherwise, all movements which is coming under your intelligence is not spontaneous movement. It's well thought movements. It's under your intelligence. Your intelligence is governing that movement. It's not called spontaneous. The spontaneous movement is when a movement is being initiated from beyond your intelligence from that Shakti. Only that movement is said spontaneous. So I would like to strictly define spontaneity, not using in a layman term. No?
I think that's a perfect description. And going back to what I was saying is, it's also that space I'm also aiming at when I say spontaneous, because in the end, of course, when we are mentally exercising and trying to choose my words correctly, when we forget,
like we say, the creation of this universe, no, is a spontaneous movement of Shakti. The universe which we are playing inside is a spontaneous movement of Shakti. That with this spontaneous movement, this world is coming to creation. So spontaneous movement has enormous power to move. Here I am concerned in the doing mode, where we need to relate with our mind, our body, our ego, and our intelligence is related.
Depending on now I think I have to use the word consciousness development, because
very nice. Now we come to the point we are coming. So conscious, we can come to conscious relating. We have one word of going conscious relating, compassionate relating, two ways, no?
Yeah.
Relating with this world. How a meditator will relate to the world, and how a meditator will use the judgment criteria relating to the world. This is a complex issue for each meditator to deal with. This is where the problem is, and that's where we are talking about it. The truth and judgment in meditation and for a meditator. Inside, we don't have any issue, no problem at all, because we are not used any judgment. we don't need it. But the outside world, we need it. The inside world, I don't need my ego yet. I don't need my mind. I don't need my even intelligence. I can depend on the creative force, the spontaneous movement of Shakti. I can surrender. Can we do it in the outside world?
Yeah.
Not as a renunciate. As a renunciate, you are free. But not as a renunciate. As a normal person. For sure, we have conscious relating. And take the risk.
Can anybody hear me?
Yes, please.
Yes, yes.
Yeah. Yeah. What I find in that is when I'm in the outside world, then I have all the time to make any choices. And also everybody around me will force me to take any choice. And when I'm like renounced, like when I was in Kashi, I was living at this Shamsan Ghat, and I can just sit there and meditate, and no problem, yeah. But then also there is no choice to make. When food is coming, is food coming. If it's not coming, it's not coming. If I have a sleeping place, I have a sleeping place. If I don't have, I don't have. But yeah, then I'm just more in the inside world with myself. But as soon as I go outside, then yeah, I have to make choices where you want to go, right, left, in the middle. And also with my election of the choice, I'm also judging for sure, because I have to do is the right way, or the middle way, the right way, or the left way, the right way. And I have to take, they will force me to take any choice. Like I find it's very much with choice related.
Yeah.
And
Okay.
yeah.
So you see, once we relate to the world with our mind, no?
Yeah.
Our mind which is calculating, and we need adjustment. You are driving. Your mind is continuously involved in judgment of right and wrong.
Absolutely.
Continuously. So if we are relating to the outside world, we don't follow this scripture, do not judge.
Yeah.
You cannot follow. That is I'm saying the law of the inner world written in the books are different, and law to the outer world to go outside are different. They are diametrically opposite.
Yes. I think also, yeah, we will get many problems if we put this inside world into the outer world. That would mean
Outside world,
want to have right or left. And then I'm just a watcher. I don't answer, or I say I will give no answer. Then
yeah,
they will challenge
yeah,
me. It's impossible.
yeah. We need to use our mind, and we need to continuously use the judgment in outside world. The moment we use mind, a judgment will be made. And this judgment is continuously always a risk. It could be right, it could be wrong.
Yeah.
And even if it is right, you have to take the risk of your right judgment. Responsibility of it. So really, that's where I'm saying, we are talking about only problems of a meditator, not anybody else. And if somebody is not a meditator, the person is not confused at all. Very simple. The person has a simple goal. I have to earn money, make house, live life, and sometimes participate in a spiritual gathering or not, doesn't matter. There is no confusion for this person. Confusion and the problem is only arising to meditate. where one law he is following and wants to apply the same law in the outside world. Not possible. So the law and the scriptures and the disciplines of a renunciate is a different phenomenon. You have a place, you sleep. You don't have a place, you don't sleep. You cannot say in this world, if you are running a business, if I in a mood, I will open my shop. If not in a mood, I will not open my shop.
No.
Will it work? No. No. It will not work. So a discipline we follow to go inside, same way we must follow discipline of the outside world. You are living in a country, you have to follow the rules and regulation where you are living. You have to follow rules and regulation in your society, in your country, in your colony, in the train, in the bus, everywhere. Rules and regulations are there.
Especially if we are depending on money or something like that, then yeah.
No, even you have a lot of money, but you will follow the rules.
Yeah.
Same rules. You will follow the same rules. So I'm saying, as a meditator, we should categorically define this law, this scripture, this discipline is to go inside. And this law, these regulations is you must use your mind fully and completely all the time for the right judgment to movement. If you are making a movement, not a spontaneous movement, that's a different phenomenon, but a movement which is belonging to body, a movement which is belonging to mind, a movement which will influence the ego. You don't need to create any ego when you are going inside. You don't need it. But you need a certain defined, well-defined ego when you are moving outside in the world and influencing the world. So in outside world, we need body, we need mind, we need ego, and we need our intelligence. You are conscious or not conscious, it's a different phenomenon. But as a meditator, we have consciousness, and the consciousness actively relating with our intelligence, ego, mind, and body, and keeping all the four in harmony with right judgment.
Yeah.
Yeah, so do not judge is the bottom line to move towards doing to being mode. And you must do right judgment if you're coming from being to doing mode. And in this world, each judgment you are making, you always take the risk. It may be wrong. It may be wrong because you are learning. However, you think you are enlightened, but you are enlightened in your inner world. In outer world, you are learning. In the outer world, one must learn to make a right judgment, and this right judgment is contextual, not absolute truth, like absolute truth. What Jesus find, what Buddha find, what anybody find in this whole universe ever, I will find the same. Not that. Contextual. In outside world, everything is context. You are in Germany, right and wrong is different. Come to India, right and wrong will change. Go to America, right and wrong will change. Go to Russia, right and wrong is changing. The moment we are using our ego and mind and body, the right and wrong is contextual, not universal.
Yeah.
But in the inner world, it is universal. That's what my point was, to make you aware and to each meditator to be aware of this phenomenon. It is outside world, it's relative. That's why we call there exists no truth in this world, because everything is relative. If you change the place, if you change the time, truth different. In our inner world, truth is not different. If you change the time, you change the place, truth remains the same. It's non-relative. It's not depending. You are American, you are German, you are Indian, you are old, you are young, you have a lot of money, you have no money. It's not depending on anything. That's what we call truth, truth of the inner world, being mode. But in outside world, there exists no truth. There exists no right and wrong. You need awareness. So a meditator, relating to the outside world, needs continuous awareness of the presence where I am. Where I am is the main awareness point. Because that will create the context of right and wrong judgment. And it's relative, not absolute. There exists no truth in a relative way in the outside world, because it's changing. I go to the village, criteria change. Judgment criteria is fully changed. What is right, what is wrong. Come to Germany, different. Go to America, different. Come to India, different place. Rishikesh is different. Delhi, different. Bombay, different. Change the club. And suddenly right and wrong is fully different. So not to fight as a meditator, not to fight and argue with anyone, what is right, what is wrong. Be open, bring your awareness, and learn that it is contextual. No absolute truth. Here, exact what is right, what is wrong. That's what we say when we involve our body, mind, and ego to relate. The right and wrong is changing, and you need continuous judgment of right and wrong. Marvin?
Yes.
So, it's making sense, because I am trying to create a harmony between two states of being and two kinds of life.
Oh, yes, it's making sense. You know, I think the answer is the question itself, you know, because it invites only to more self-introspection. And that's a question emanating from the process of meditation, and being meditative. So, you know, the moment the question is consciously created and you're just developing, you know. So you're keeping us there with the consciousness. I don't know how to put it in words because of course it's going to make sense. You're developing.
I'm making you aware and all the time conscious so that you can look at the phenomena the way I am looking at it. No? Just sharing my vision, the way I am looking, if it's possible for you to see that way.
Yes, of course. No, definitely. You know, I can only just smile because a lot of it is confirmation and as I said before, a mature view of looking at the world unfold.
Yeah. So I will sum up. This was my point only for the meditators, that if you are studying a scripture, do not judge. It's for going into your inner world. Do not apply the same law into the outer world. Because outer world, you need awareness. You are involving your mind, body, and ego, and your individual intelligence. In the inner world, you don't need anything at all. Your body is not moving. Your mind is not needed. Your ego is not needed. Your intelligence is not needed. And you go beyond, that's you call spontaneity. The spontaneous movement which you are seeing. And in the outside world, you need your mind, you need your body, you need your ego, you need your intelligence. And as a meditator, what you have, a creative force and consciousness. And there is no fixed criteria of right and wrong, truth and false. Constantly, you need to keep on observing environment. And it's changing. How you will take it as a play is a different matter. If you are conscious, it's a play. If you are not conscious, you are caught. And it's a serious matter. If you're conscious, it's playful. Yes, it's a play. But the moment you become unconscious, it's a serious match. You say, oh, I'm trapped. Now I become a victim. Now I cannot move. Oh my God. So it becomes a serious matter. Yeah. So this was my point, because I encountered this question. People come to meditate, teach them meditation. Oh, I should be loving, compassionate. But how to relate? Everybody is taking away my money and I am being plundered. No? Now I'm finished. They say, do not hoard, accumulate. No? Very nice in the inside world, inner world. I'm not talking about sannyasi way, but do not hoard. So you go inside, you got siddhis, you got answers, you got clarity, a lot of things, and you will get a lot of powers inside. Do not hoard. Do not accumulate, collect it for the use of future. There is no use of this. You will get caught. Inside world. Outside world, you need a proper bank balance to run a business and proper procedure to follow it.
Yes. Yes, definitely.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. In the outside world, you will follow the law of the outside world, not inside world. Otherwise, it doesn't work. And if we allow the same outside world to our inside world, nobody can meditate. So meditation is the easiest thing. And the world is also a playful stage, provided we are not confused and we don't apply the law of inner journey to outer journey and the law of outer journey to inner journey. That's what I mean to say. That we read a line in Gita, a line in Bible, a line in Quran, a line in here, and keep on using this as a criteria and telling people, oh, you are wrong. Look what is written in Bible. No? Look, you are wrong. What is written in Yoga Sutra?
Yeah.
This is creating a lot of confusion. So be very clear, the law of inner journey and law of outer journey are, and they are diametrically opposite. And that's the challenge.
Yes.
Challenge is to find a balance.
It's separated indeed, but I would say that they both have, because the question was how do you do well? You know, how that was one of, I think, one of the main points we're trying to figure out, know how to do well. Because you say there's that complaint, I'm being plundered, you know, everybody's mean to me, I'm being nice and all that. But I think the factor that will decide in the end, if we're doing well outside and inside, is going back also to that word of spontaneity. The more spontaneity you have, the more consciousness we let express, because also I think that's, if we can say something, the talk is very abstract. We're tapping on spaces that usually the especially in English, I would say, the vocabulary is not developed to pinpoint these few spaces, you know. And I also would frankly say that these spaces are not meant to be talked about because they have to be experienced in some way. You know, it's that experience that would also help us have a better time, the outside world, turning this perceived obstacle of that makes us complain to realizing, oh, it's actually great. That's this spontaneity. And going back to that, because I also meant this, when we're conscious and we're also working out with our intelligence without it being a program, a preset, you know, we're just running that function that we've set up, you know, but instead we let the consciousness, the true consciousness, not the identity that we're expressing, but like what we could call God inside of us, our higher self, that is also our true essence, you know, when we let it.
Look, Marvin, please, look, here I'm ending the meeting. We are crossing the time. Here I'm saying, look, identity is not needed inside, no? When you are going inside, you don't need an identity at all. Not needed. But an identity is needed the moment you move out of your house, not?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
So a law which is written, make a movement without identity in an inner world, is a different discipline you need to follow. And making a movement, keeping your identity in the outside world, you need to follow a different discipline. Two disciplines are needed.
Yep. But no, I was not, no, I was basically, I was saying that in the end, it's the consciousness behind that movement to the inside.
Consciousness is needed for any movement, inner or outer. No, doesn't matter. You should be, consciousness is both way. If consciousness will not support, nothing will happen, neither inner movement nor outer movement. No movement is possible. So consciousness is substratum supporting both. Whether you want to make a movement out of you to influence the world, out of your movement means you are bound to influence the environment. That's we call outer movement. A movement, you are influencing the physical world. You are bound to influence it. That's we call outer movement. And you are not influencing directly anybody outside of you. Then we call it an inner movement.
Yes.
Outer movement means you are going to influence the environment. Someone. If your movement is not influencing anyone directly, no one, this world is not going to judge you at all. There is no judgment in the world. World judgment is you are going to influence it. Any step you will make out of your house, out of you, you are influencing the environment. And that comes a judgment from the environmental side, right and wrong. As a meditator, you should be aware that this judgment of right and wrong is contextual. It's in the context. It's not absolute. And it keeps on changing. That's the only awareness a meditator keeps. And on this awareness, a meditator plays. He's not serious about. He's not a German. You break a law, very serious in Germany. You break any law. So, yeah, very serious. Not so serious in India. In India, people have fun breaking law. Yeah, they have fun. If anything is written, do not park here. People go and park the car exactly there where it's written, do not park here. They have fun here. So it's not so serious matter. You see, if you bring a German mind to India and it starts judging right and wrong, you will be in trouble. If you become so serious of right and wrong in India, you will be in trouble. And if you bring the Indian mind to Germany and you are not serious about at all what the laws are given, you will be punished and you will learn immediately. So right and wrong, what is true or not, a meditator needs awareness and judge the environment and learn the law according to the place and time. And absolute laws are there, which is not depending on place and time. We call law of the inner world. And law changing according to place and time, we say law of the outer world. And a meditator is challenged to find a balance between the two. If you are a right meditator, you will find it playfully and balance it and not become serious about the rules and regulation in the outer world. And you don't need any judgment to go in it. That's what I wanted to point out, because many meditators come, they start meditating, and then they start to again ask me the same question. Oh, I'm doing so good. I'm feeling so loving. I'm doing so nice to the people, but nothing is coming back in this way. I'm always in trouble. I'm a misfit. I'm not fitting into the world, into the environment. And I'm always judged wrong in the place. So learning the law according to the place and playing with it. That's the only way for a meditator. Here I will sum up. I am summing up in a way. This my point was to make you aware, again repeating, make you aware that there are two different sets of laws for your inner journey. And inner journey means you are not directly influencing anybody else except you. And outer journey, we say, you are directly influencing the environment except you. And we should not apply these two laws reversely. Then we will have a problem. Like I had a problem. Just for meditators. I am only speaking for meditators. And to find a balance between inner world and outer. A harmony. Balance means harmony. Balance doesn't mean that you will not be one-sided or you will not be another-sided. Balance means you are creating harmony, going this side, that side, and creating a harmony. That's called balance. So see you next Friday.
Yeah, thank you so much. Very nice topic.
Yes,
Very
thank you.
easy, but I was coming to this issue many times, many times.
Yeah, I like.
So see you next Friday.
Thank you very much for your time and presence, guys.